is a perennial somewhere. But I brought you examples and we're going to plant this up quickly because then I can talk about planting. Whether you're planting a vegetable garden or a landscape, planting rules apply. The same planting rules apply. So these are annuals. What that means is these are plants that are not going to come back after we get a cold snap. Okay? But they're usually things that bloom like crazy. So the only way from your landscape you're going to have beautiful color. You see me squeezing this pot. This is the best way to get this out and get the entire root system with it. Turn it upside down, hit it, and there you get the whole thing. You don't want to plant anything, whether it's an annual or a tree or a shrub or a perennial, any deeper than where it was growing. This is where this was growing. This is where, because I can't say, can I say God here? This is where God wanted to grow.
Absolutely, this is habitat.
If you plant this deeper, if you put dirt up around this, if you put mulch around this or anything else, you rot the stem. The tree shrub annual feeds by the cambium layer, which is right under the stem, and therefore it dies. So you don't want to do that. So when you're planting, and whether it's a tree or shrub, the same thing applies with this. You want to get it out of the pot, keeping it whole. The only exception to that is that, now you can see this is our third crop of annuals. So you can see my daughter is in charge of our farm. This is our third crop of annuals. So this is not an old annual. This hasn't been in the pot since March. If you get something like that, and there are a lot of roots, which actually I may be able to show you when we get to some of the vegetables, you just gently pull that apart. And that same applies with a shrub or a perennial. You pull it out of the pot, there's an excessive amount of roots, you gently pull those roots apart so that they can grow out into the substrate rather than continuing to wrap around.
Would you recommend not cutting them? I've always cut mine.
You can.
Root bound.
You can. If we see something root bound on the nursery when we're transplanting, we do have a knife, yes. And we'll do three scores and pull the bottom roots out just a little bit so that they can grow. But you don't want to destroy the ball. You don't want to destroy the way this is kept. It just makes plants very, very unhappy. So this is the easiest thing for me to plant because I can show you. And this is a really, really good potting soil. That's another thing. When you get potting soil, don't buy the really cheap potting soil. All that is left in that is everything that's left after they've taken anything of value out. They've taken the peat out. Same way with the topsoils. Potting soils should have wetting agents in it. I'm sure you've all planted something and then found that it got dry and you went to re-water it and all the water ran through and it wouldn't rehydrate. That's because you didn't have any wetting agents in it. So this planting might take longer than I thought. Now there's a little bit of root. On this, I'm just going to loosen this. There's no need to score anything on the sides. I think I need to go faster, don't I? No? You're okay? This is a sweet potato vine. This is a million bells. We're not going to have room for everything.
What's the first one that you planted?
This is a dark leaf sweet potato vine.
No,
oh, this is a million bells.
A million bells?
Million bells. They have just come out with the most amazing. They bloom all the time. You don't have to deadhead them. All the proven winter plants are just wonderful. When you plant things, you want to make sure that you really pack the dirt around the plant. Again, you don't want to go over the top, but you want to pack it so that this is all set nicely. There's a purple petunia. Okay.